All right, test it. Here we go. Here we go. All right, just setting up my other screen here as we're counting down to the start. Getting all my charts ready to go. All right. That seems pretty good so far. Today's conversion chart. All right, well, thank you for joining me. This is your host, ID Jester. We are playing game number 5 from the 1970 World Series. This has got the Cincinnati Reds going to Baltimore and facing off against the Baltimore Orioles. This is game number 5. Quite an exciting end to last game. Hopefully, you guys got a chance to check that out. It was broken up into 2 parts, but quite an exciting game. Speaking of which, you can see there's been some lineup changes here. Leading off for the Orioles is going to be Mark Bellinger, the hero from last game, making that big defensive stop with bases loaded in the top of the 9th inning to secure the win for Baltimore. Let's look at the lineups. So Bobby Tolan, center field for the Cincinnati Reds. Pete Rose, right field. Tony Perez, third base. Johnny Bench catching Lee May, first base. Hal McRae in today in left field. Tommy Helms at second. Dave Concepcion at short. And Jim Merritt is the pitcher for the Orioles. Mark Bellinger, the shortstop, leads it off today. Paul Blair, the center fielder. Frank Robinson at right. Bog Powell goes to fourth in the lineup. He's at first base. Merv Rettenmund came in and had a pinch hit appearance last game for us. He'll be starting the game here in left field. Brooks Robinson drops down to sixth in the lineup, third baseman. Davey Johnson, second base. He'll be batting seventh. Andy Etchenbaron, the catcher today. And pitching for the Orioles, Mike Solar. So, what do we need to do? We need to get the charts. Where are my fancy dancy charts? Here's my fancy dancy chart. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to roll for each pitcher to see if they're having a good day, a bad day, whatever. We're in Memorial Stadium 1970. You can't have a bad day. Cannot have a bad day at all. You can only have a good day or an exceptional day. So first, the visiting pitcher, Jim Merritt, for the Reds. Let's see what kind of day he's going to have. That's an 82. Good thing there is no chance of having a bad day, because you can see a lot of other stadiums he would actually have a -2. So now we'll check for Mike Solar. Kuar, I think is the pronunciation. Something like, oh, he's got a 12. He's nailed it. Mike Solar with a 12. That's going to be a +2 rating for Mike Solar. So 4-7 is actually going to go to. Actually, here's what I'm going to do, because otherwise I will forget. I'm actually going to change his actual card here. Give me a moment. Let's put in some text here. So 4-7 is going to go to 2-7 and then 2-8. So he's going to be a 2-8 against the lefties. And that seems a little large. What do you think? Let's go with red. Why I made it white? I want it red. Thank you. And we can turn the size way down. There we go. Otherwise, I will forget this, and I don't want to forget it, so I'm going to put that 2 to 8 there. 2 to 6 goes 2 to 7, and then 2 to 8 again, so we can type in that once again, 2 to 8. Actually, no, it does not. It goes 2 to 6, then it goes 4 to 7, and then 2 to 7. So almost messed that up. Don't want to cheat here. All right, and now we want to move this. Thank you. Move. No, why can't I click on the, there we go. There we go. 2 to 7, 2 to 8. That way I'll just remember, right? All right, and we'll just take this back in like that. Crop it. Save it. We will save it to who is this? Baltimore game. We're gonna go with JPEG. Mike Solar. We're gonna make this actually Mike Solar number 2. There we go. All right, so Mike Solar, which means we need to actually get rid of that one. Mike Solar is gonna have good pitching day, so we'll see if that can come back and help Baltimore get back in the series here. There he is. There's our new card for Mike Solar. That way I can just remember a little easier because I'll see the numbers there. Otherwise I'll forget. So 2 to 8 against left-handers, 2 to 7 versus right-handers. And Mike Solar is having a good day out there. Well, let's get busy here. Thanks everyone for joining us here. So this is game number 5, October 15th, 1970. We have Bobby Tolan versus Mike Solar. And the windup and the pitch, here it comes. Oh wait, no roll. I should mention I did actually been doing things slightly different than when it's supposed to. We've been checking for errors on doubles, but I've been looking at the wrong set of doubles. It's not the first set of numbers. The was that the B the what do they call it? The the BD. I keep thinking BD, but it's not the BD number. Anyways, what I should be doing is looking at the second set of numbers, which is the random numbers. So with random number, when they roll the double, that's when we check for an error. So I just wanted to bring that up so that people go, well, wait, that's a double. Why didn't you check for it? I've actually been looking at the first set of numbers when I should be looking at the second set of numbers. All right, anyways, here we go. Which makes more sense because I kept wondering why on a 2 to 12 you're going to look at a CD check, a clutch defensive check, and then that's also a double, so then you would be checking for an error as well. And I kept thinking that seemed a little strange that should be like that. So I happened to look at this when I was setting the game up, and I was looking through to see if I was doing something wrong, and sure enough, the random number is doubles. Aha, so that makes a lot more sense. Anyway, so here we go. Bobby Tolan versus Mike Solar there, if you're doing the dice version like myself, hopefully. All right, Bobby Tolan, Mike Solar, here we go. We got a lefty versus a lefty. So Mike Solar is the left-hander, so this will make things interesting. And we have us, there we go. We got us a 6. 6 against left-handers is going to be off of Solar's card. A 45 is going to be an out. 42 to 48 is an out. What kind of out is it? He's an LN73. LN73 is going to be an F8. So Bobby Tolan, let's put it on caps. One out. Brings up Pete Rose. Pete Rose against Mike Solar. Pete Rose is going to be batting from the right side today. Right side. And then we got a number of 8 versus right-hander, so it's going to come off of Rose's card 45. That's a strikeout. 44 and 45 are strikeouts against right-handers, and Pete Rose hit that. Look at that. So Pete Rose with the big strikeout. That brings up Tony Perez here. Tony Perez, righty versus left-hander. That's a 7 against the righty, so it's going to be off of Solar. 37, 31 to 41 is a strikeout. So 2 strikeouts to start the game for Mike Solar. No runs, no hits, no errors after half an inning. Zeros on the board. So leading it off for the Orioles today, as we talked about, Mark Bellinger. Had a big game last time, made the last stop as the ball was trying to get the hot shot up the middle. Diving stop to his right. To his left. Diving stop, flipped it over to second base for the out. And with bases loaded, tying run on second, they were able to get out of it and continue the series. And we have us a 12. So 12 is going to be a CD check. A CD check of 82. Let's look at the CD check of 82. All right. So 2 or 12 is a CD check. Mark Bellinger here, sorry. He is against the left-hander. Boy, we got 2 left-handers on the mound today. So against the left-hander, he's an RN, right-handed normal. So with RN of 82 is going to be right fielder. So we're going to be checking the right fielder, Pete Rose. He's got a 3. He's got a 3 check for his coach defense. So we will look and see what happens here on the CD for the outfielders. Just a 3 for Pete Rose. CD of outfielder. Here we are. He rolled a 77 under the 3 column. Fielder makes running catch on deep fly at the warning track. Runner on third scores. So it's just a F9 for the out. Paul Blaird. Righty versus left-hander. So 2 lefties on the hill today for game number 5. Now that is a doubles, so we will be checking for an error after the play. So that's a 4. 4 is going to be versus a righty off of Merritt. 55 against the right-hander is going to be an out. What kind of out is it? Let's see, and then we're going to check for an error. All right, he is against the left-hander, he's an RP, right-hander with power. Okay, scroll over, thank you. Right-hander with power, that's a 53. That's going to be GX6 hit to the shortstop. Shortstop is going to be Dave Concepcion. He's got an E6 rating. E6 means 11 to 61 is going to be an error. E6 and it is a 63. What did I say? 61. Oh, he just makes the play. Concepcion with shortstop. It's a G6. Just barely makes the play. We need to take off the bold here and here. All right. So 2 away here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Good defensive play by Dave Concepcion there. All right, we got Frank Robinson, the right fielder. Jim Merritt. And we rolled an 11. An 11 with no one on. We just do it normal. So 36 against the lefty. 36. Uh-oh. Frank Robinson, 36-41 against left-handers is deep. Deep, deep, deep. Now, did I close that chart? Looks like I did. Trying to keep charts I don't use all the time. Closed after our last little outing. All right, well, we're going to be rolling on the deep chart here. Memorial Stadium, third one from the bottom. Let's see how far it goes off of Frank Robinson's bat. That's at 37, Memorial Stadium. 37 is third base. There's only one of them, and Frank Robinson hit it, 3-7. So a triple for Frank Robinson. Third base, one hit. And now 90 feet away from scoring a run. There's Boog Boog, not sure. We're going to call him Boog Bow. Can he get a base hit and drive in that first run? Let's see. That is a 12. That's going to be another defensive check. 81 will tell us which position. He is an LP. He rolled an 81. That's going to be into right field. F9 again. F9. I'm sorry, right field. So Pete Rose once again with the clutch defense of 3. Let's roll on the charts. Clutch defense for second time for Pete Rose there in right field. Let's see what we get. We got a 77. That's pretty close to what we had last time, I believe. 377. Yep. Fielder makes running catch on deep fly ball at the warning track. Runner on third scores. Well, that makes it the third out, though. So close out there in right field. They have one hit, no runs, and no errors. And after one complete, we got scoreless ball game. All right, that brings up Tony Perez. No, that doesn't bring up Tony. He's done. It brings up Johnny Bench. There we go. All right, Johnny Bench, Mike Cuellar. I think somebody told me before, and the last time he pitched, I think it was game number 2. I think his name pronunciation is like Cuellar. Cuellar, I think is his name. So that's a 7 against the right-hander. That is going to be off of Cuellar. And a 45, that is going to be an out. What kind of out is it? Johnny Bench against the left-handers, an RP. A 2-2. That's going to be a ground ball hit to second. So G4, one away. And that brings up Lee May. Lee May against Mike Cuellar. Hopefully I'm saying that right. That's a 7 against the right-hander. So because Cuellar's having a good pitching day, it's coming off of his card. 35 is a strikeout. So Cuellar with the big strikeout, second out. That brings up Hal McRae. Hal McRae against Cuellar. That's an 8 against right-hander. So this time off of Hal McRae, and a 17 is going to be a home run. Hal McRae, home run. It's going, gone. And Cincinnati jumps up to an early lead as Hal McRae trots around the bases. Gets a high five from the third base coach. And the Cincinnati dugout jumps out to greet him. Hal McRae giving Cincinnati a big 1-0 lead here. Well, that brings up Tommy Helms. Tommy Helms. Mike Cuellar. That's a 12, so another CD check. A lot of CD checks. 17, he's an RN. 17 is going to be the first baseman. First baseman is going to be Bog Powell. He's a 3. So we're going to go to the CD check on the 3 for the first baseman. See what it comes up. That is a 34. First baseman 34. Hard grounder 6. Hard grounder 3-6-3 double play if runner on first or lead runner out trying to advance. Defender's choice. So we'll just take the out and move on since no one's on base. So we're going to call that a 3 unassisted. We'll call it a G3 unassisted. And that brings up 1 hit, 1 run. And after 1.5 complete, Cincinnati 1, Baltimore nothing. The home crowd has got a little bit of murmuring going on here. Will this end the series today? Up at the plate will be Merv Rentenmund against Jim Merritt. Merv versus Jim. That's a 4 against the right-hander since coming off of Merritt's card. It's a 41. That's going to be just barely an out, but it is an out. And what kind of out is it? It's a 2-6. Right RP 26. It's going to be a liner to second. L6. L4. That's what I meant to say. That brings up Brooks Robinson, batting in the 6th spot today. Moved down the lineup. Has not had a very good series for us. We shall see. All right, that is a 4. That is coming off of Merritt's card. 85 is going to be an out. Brooks Robinson against left-handers is an RN. RN of 51 is going to be a G6. G6. That brings up Davy Johnson. Davy Johnson. Here we go. That is a 7 against the right-handers, so it's coming off of Davy Johnson's card. 67, though, is... 67 is an out. What kind of out is it? He is an RN against lefties. It's a 56, RN 56. That's a G6. So the second baseman is, shortstop is busy that inning. All right, cruising right along. After 2 complete, it is 1-0 Cincinnati on the home run by Hal McRae. Oh, we gotta put this as a yellow because it was a hit, and we're gonna make it bold because a run scored. There we go. All right, here we go. Dave Concepcion, Mike Huar comes back out. That's a 2. That's going to be off of Coar's card, and that is a 68 against the right-hander. That's going to be an out. Concepcion is an RN against left-handers. 21 RN is going to be an F3, so a little fly ball there. That brings up Jim Merritt, the pitcher. Pitcher on pitcher. Beatles Eternally, hello. Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for stopping in. We've got us a little 1970s action. Top of the 3rd inning, Cincinnati 1, Baltimore nothing on the big single home run shot by Hal McRae in the 2nd inning. Due up is Jim Merritt here. That is a 9. That's going to come off of Merritt's card. That is a 34 against the left-hander. 34 is a PB pass ball, but there's no one on. No one on. So, I'm not sure what you do in that situation. Let's see. Let's look at the rule book real quick, just to see what happens. So, I don't even know if it'll tell us. My guess would be probably that's off the pitcher's card here. Pitcher's card, pass ball. Control factor of pitcher, the wider the range, so more often the pitcher will control the play. Pass ball results, runners advance 1 base. If no runners are on, it is an out. Okay, so no runners are on, So it's just an automatic out. All right, so what kind of out is it? It is a... he's a pitcher, yeah. So pitcher, and 31 pitcher is going to be a G3. So G3, and top of the lineup here for Bobby Tolton. 0 for 1, fly ball into center field. And let's see what he gets this time. That's a 4. It's coming off of Cuellar's. 67 against the lefty is going to be an out. So, let's see what kind of outie it is. He's an LN 11. That's going to be a G1. Back to the pitcher. Back to Cuellar. G1. And no runs, no hits, no errors. And after 2.5 complete, still 1-0. That brings up Andy Etchenberry. I always thought it was a weird difference between wild pitch and pass ball. It says Beatles eternally. Yeah, you have to be a little more specific what you mean by you always thought it was a weird difference. So, Etchenberry, that's a 6. He's a right-hander, so it's coming off a Merritt's card 46. It's going to be an out. What kind of out is it? He's in versus left-handers is an RN. 61 RN 61 is going to be an F6. So flies out to the shortstop. Oops. That brings up Mike. That's the wrong one. This one. Mike Coar against Jim Merritt. And this is an 8 against the left-hander, so it's going to come off of Coar. 84, though, that is an out. What kind of out is it? It is a 66 on the pitcher column. It's going to be a G6 to shortstop. And brings up the top of the lineup. Hero from the last game, Mark Ballinger against Jim Merritt. Each pitcher having a stellar day. That is a 7 against the right-hander, so it's coming off of Ballinger. 77, though, is an out. What kind of out is it? He is an RN versus lefties. That is an 82. That is going to be a F8. F8. No runs, no hits, no errors. And after 3 complete, each pitcher's only given up 1 hit. And they've both been decent hits. We have a triple by Frank Robinson, and we got a home run by Hal McRae, are the only hits of the game so far. All right, brings up Pete Rose. Be batting from the right-handed side this time. That's a 6 versus righty, so it's coming off of Cuellar. 23 is going to be a G6. G6. And 1 out. Tony Perez struck out in the first. That's a 6 against the right-hander, so 26 again. It's going to be a G6. Yep, against the right-hander. Yep, G6. So very busy on the field has been the shortstop, Mark Bellinger. That brings up Johnny Bench, grounded to second his first time up. Oh, okay, I got you there, Beatles. That is a 7 against a right-hander, so because Cuellar is having a good outing, you can see his stats have changed, and it's coming off of his card, but unfortunately for him, a 14 is still going to be a single. So Johnny Bench with the single in the left field. That brings up Lee May. He's pretty bad stealer there, so Lee May will have to do some work here with two-way here. And we'll put that in there. Come on, come on. That is a 2. Is that what that is? All right. So it's a 9. So it's coming off Lee May. 21 against the lefty. 21 is going to be into right field. So we got to check here. Runner on first. It came off the batter's card. On base is Johnny Bench. He is a C runner. So 11 to 48, he makes it to third. 11 to 48, he makes it to third. And it's a 78, so he stays at second. So it's another single. Going to second on the play. Now runners at first and second. 2 out here for Hal McRae, who had a home run in the second inning to lead it off. I'm sorry, not to lead it off. My bad. Can Cuellar get him out this time? We shall see. That is an 8 against the right-hander, so that's coming off of Hal McRae's card. 25. Whoa, almost hit it again. Last time he rolled a 20. No, he rolled an 18. But he hits a 25 this time and struck out, trying to go for the bomb again. But 2 more hits, no runs. And after 2.5 complete, still 1-0. That brings up Paul Boyard against Jim Merritt. Merritt's been rolling through this game with only giving him 1 hit so far. That's a 5, so it's coming off of Merritt's card. That is a 34 against the righty. 34 is a strikeout. So Paul Boyard starts the inning off with a strikeout. Frank Robinson, triple in the first inning. And let's see if he can do that again. 7 against the right-hander, so it's coming off a Frank Robinson card. And it's a 17 against the lefty. That is going to be a single into center field. So Frank Robinson, 2 for 2 on the day. He's not very good at stealing. That brings up Bog Powell. And let's see here. Dice conversion chart. Okay. So it's a 12. It's going to be a CD check. A CD check of 53. He's an LP of 53 is going to put it into the center fielder. So center fielder is Bobby Tolan. He is a 3. So we're going to check on the CD of 3 for outfielders and see if Bobby Tolan can make the play or not. He rolls a 35. Yes, 35. Diving catch on a blooper runner's hold is, so it is going to be an F8. Runners are going to hold. I probably would have held anyways, but, and that brings up the second out of the inning. Merv Rettenmund against Jim Merritt. Merv Rettenmund. Here we go. That's a 6 against the right-hander. So in Merv Merritt's wheelhouse here, 43 is going to be an out. And he is an RP against left-handers. What kind of out is it? It's a 53. He is he's an RP. RP 53 is a G6. So G6, third out of the inning. They did get another hit, but no runs. After 4.5 complete, still 1-0. Anybody's ball game. That brings up Tommy Helms, grounded to first his first time up in the second inning. Cuellar versus Tommy Helms. Wind up in the pitch. That's an 11. And that's coming off a Helms card. And it's a 41 against the lefty. 41 is going to be an out. And what kind of out is it? He's an RN. RN of 31. RN 31 is going to be liner to second. Liner to second. Concepcion flied out to first his first time up. That's a 9, so it's coming off Concepcion. 13 against the lefty is going to be an infield single. Concepcion with the infield single. And another hit. That brings up Jim Merritt with 1 out. Jim Merritt actually has a batter card. Interesting. We didn't use it the first time because it didn't come off of his card. It came off of Cuellar's card. But let's see about Merritt's card for Cincinnati. Nope. I need. Where is it? Come on, give it to me. Give it to me. Oh my God, where is the file? There it is. Let's see about this card here, shall we? So here's Jim Merritt, and here's Jim Merritt right here. All right, so he does have his own card. Look at that. So, I don't like that one. Start again. All right. So let's. Where are we going? Baseball. We're going to Status Pro. 1970. We're going to Cincinnati. We're going to Jim Merritt, and we're going to add on Bats. All right. So I can move this back out of the way. I do have to change over that 1970 Cincinnati. Jim Merritt, where are you? Bats. So we're going to copy that, bring that over here, and paste that right there. I'm going to get rid of that card. Did not realize this until, obviously. There we go. So I can actually, Dave Concepcion, yes, we can get rid of his card. There we go. All right. So we're back in the swing of things here. Back in the swing of things now. All right, so versus a righty, he's halfway decent, but versus a lefty, he just strikes out. So you might as well try to sack since he is an AA. Obviously, the defense is going to play in, so it's going to make him a BB sacrificer. They lose one on the on your defense when they play in. So we roll a 83 against BB. 83. Bunt popped up to first base. Batter out. No advancement on the play as Jim Merritt. That is going to be a pop-up to first base for the out. No advancement. Not a good sacrifice there. Wow. Bunt popped up to first baseman. Batter out. Okay. Well, there you go. That brings up 2 outs. Still at first base, Dave Concepcion. Bobby Tolan. And that is a 5 against the lefty. So it's coming up for Cuellar. 52 is going to be an out. So Cuellar gets out of the inning. Tolan is an LN of 81. That's a fly ball into right field for the third out. So one more hit, no runs, and after 4.5 complete, it's still 1-0 on Hal McRae's 386-foot home run in the second inning. That brings up Brooks Robinson. Bobby Tolan's only given up 2 hits, both of them to Frank Robinson. That's a 5. 5 against the righty is going to be damn it. Because I changed that card. All right. Hey, gotcha. All right. Jim Merritt. I just need the regular Jim Merritt card. Thank you. So a 5 is going to be versus right-hander, and 77 is going to be an out. He's an RN versus lefties. LN versus lefties. 52 is a G6. G6 brings up Davey Johnson against Jim Merritt. 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. That's a 5 against the right-hander. So off of Merritt's card, 25. And that is a hit. Davey Johnson gets a single into right field. That brings up not a very good stealer. That brings up Andy Etchenbarren. 1 away here. Oh, wait a minute. We need to color code that as a hit. Andy Etchenbarren versus Jim Merritt. Lefty versus righty. That's a 9 against the righty, so it's coming off of Etchenbarren. 81, though, is an out. What kind of out is it? He's an RN against lefties. That's a 76 against RN. 76 is going to be an F8. Okay, no advancements, no double play. That brings up Cuellar. Oops, god damn it. Have to close that because I hit the wrong button. So that brings up Cuellar with 2 out, runner on first. Now you just gotta let him hit. Gotta let him hit and see what he can do, right? Let's see what happens. 7 against the lefty is going to be off of Cuellar's card. 67 is going to be a strikeout. And that's going to end the inning, but 1 more hit, no runs, and after 5 complete, still 1-0. Cincinnati holding on to this very precarious lead. Pete Rose 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a grounder to short. Cuellar with the windup in the pitch. Here it comes. It's coming off of Cuellar, but an 85 is an out. He is an RN against lefties. That is an 86. That's an F9. That brings up Tony Perez, 0 for 2. Again, strikeout and ground ball to short. That's a 3, so it's coming off of Cuellar, and it's an 11. That is a single. So Perez with the single. Average stealer. He's a sacrifice of CC, not very good. He's 1 for 2. I think they're just going to let it roll and see what happens. So 1 out here, runner at first. And that is a 7 against a righty. And an 18, that is going to be into right field. On first is Perez. He's a C runner. base running, and it came off of the pitcher's card. So with the pitcher's card, we need to check the right fielder. Frank Robinson is a T3. So T3, 11 to 58. Runner can go from first to third. 61 to 78, he's just got to go first to second. And if it's 81 to 88, then it'll be a challenge play. We'll see what happens. And that is a 76. So 61 to 78 is just first to second. So good hustle there. Keeps him to a single. And runners on first and second once again. This time with only one out for Lee May. Runners on first and second, one out. Lee May steps in, the first baseman. That's a 6 against righty, so it's coming up of Cuellar. 82 is an out. What kind of out is it? He's an RP versus left-handers. I gotta get my chart back up here. 87 against what was he? He's an RP. 87. That's gonna FD9 with runners on first and second. So it's a fly ball into right field. And the runner can go from second to third. So it's a F9 deep for the out. But tagging up on the play is Tony Perez, who goes to third base. So runner on third with runners on the corners for Hal McRae, the dangerous Hal McRae. 2 outs here in the 6th inning, trying to keep Baltimore's season alive. Cuellar gets a sign. And fastball coming in. That's a 4. That's coming off of Cuellar, and a 37 is going to be a strikeout. So once again, Cuellar gives up a couple hits, but nothing across after 5.5 complete. We got still a 1-0 game. Top of the lineup here, Mark Bellinger coming up. He is 0 for 2, a couple fly balls so far. Baltimore's offense has once again gone hibernating after having a good outing last game. That is a 474. That'll be an out off of Merritt's card. And it will be an RN44 is a G6. Surprise, surprise there. Another shot. It's just shortstop. That brings up Paul Blair. I keep calling him Blaird, but it's just Blair. Okay? So apologize. It's just Paul Blair. That's a 7 against a righty. An 11 is coming off of Blair card. And because I called him properly, he gets himself a single, just like that. And he's a pretty good stealer. And he's off on the pitch. Base stealing. Here we go. Base stealing. Here he goes, trying to make it. Paul Blair. Oh, 77. That does not sound good. That is going to check the catcher's rating, 77. And Johnny Bench is the catcher. He's a TA plus. And 71 to 88, he's caught stealing. So Johnny Bench once again caught stealing out. Johnny Bench throws him out. Well, he had to go. He had to try. Had to try something. Got to keep this offense going here. Frank Robinson. That's probably 2 or 3 runners that Johnny Bench has thrown out so far. Maybe they shouldn't run. That's a 7 against the righty, 25 against the lefty. 25 is going to be a double, and now that steal comes back to haunt him as Frank Robinson, 3 for 3 on the day with a double Ooskies. He's got a single, a double, and a triple. He's well on his way to hitting the cycle here if he gets up one more time. So on second base, that brings up Bog Powell with 2 outs, runner on second. Jim Merritt giving up the big hit there. That's an 8. 8 against the lefty, 2-6. So pretty much 7 or higher off of Merritt's going to be off the batter's card. So 32 off the lefty. 32 is a home run. Bog Powell. And just like that, home run city. That's going to drive in 2 runs. Could have been 3. Could have been 3 if Johnny Bench wouldn't have thrown him out. So this one needs to go home and home. And just like that, Baltimore has taken the lead on Bog Powell's home run here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And now the hometown faithful are revved up. So it's still 2 outs. Bottom of 6. That is a 5. So it's coming off a Merritt's card against the righty. 43 is an out. And the out is an RP of 25. RP 25 G4. So G4 out. Oops. G4 out. So that is 3 hits, 2 runs, no errors. And we go into the 7th inning, and just like that, Baltimore has the lead. 2 up for Tommy Helms, Dave Concepcion, and the pitcher spot. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. There's been no walks in the game. Just a few strikeouts. All right, Tommy Helms, Mike Cuellar. Here we go. That's a 10, so it's coming off the Helms card. That is a 12. That is a good way to start. It is going to be a single. And due up Dave Concepcion, 1 for 2 with a single in the 5th. That's a 981. That's going to be an out. And he's an RN. 76, RN 76. That's an F8. All right, we got to make that a hit. That brings up Jim Merritt. Do they pinch hit for Jim Merritt here? In the 7th inning, Jim Merritt, let's see. He starts with 15 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he's only down half, and we're in the top of the 7th. There's a runner on first. He's facing off against a lefty, though. So he either tries a bunt again. Yeah, I mean, he's got to try to bunt if he's going to stay in. He can't get a hit unless he comes off of Cuellar's card. Okay. Just thinking. Do they want to pinch hit for him? It's only 1 out. If they sack, there'll be 2 outs for Bobby Tolan. The runner will be at second, assuming he can sack him over this time. Uh, or would it be better to pull him and bring in a new pitcher? I think. I think Baltimore, or I think Cincinnati is going to. We're going to insert a new column. I think they're going to pull Jim Merritt, and even though he's had good outings so far, he's given up 6 hits, four of those in just the last 2 innings. So he's showing signs of weakening. So they're going to be bringing in. Let's check our. That's not the one I want. Let's bring on. Cincinnati is going to bring in. All right, they're going to bring in Pat. Oops, take that off. Pat Corrales. And he's coming in the 7th inning. And he's going to be the pinch hitter. Pinch hitter. All right. So Pat Corrales is coming in 7th inning. Big spot here. I'm just going to use his card. No sense in putting all his stats down just yet. Hang on a minute. Just minimizing all these other screens over here. Everybody's good. Everybody's fine. Everybody's hunky-dory. Here we go. Pat Corrales versus Mike Cuellar. And that is a 7 against the righty. So it's coming off of Cuellar's card. It's a 64. That is an out. What kind of out is it? He's an RN against lefties. 46 RN is a G6 with runner on first is a 6-4-3 double play. So he comes in and hits into the 6-4-3 double play, out. And that ends the threat. They do get one more hit. No runs. Oops, that's not a 0. That is more of a 0. And after 6.5 complete, we're going into the 7th inning stretch. You guys can stretch as I insert another column here as we try to figure out what is coming into pitch. It's going to be Wayne Granger's coming in. Wayne Granger. And Jim Merritt's day is done. Brings up Wayne Granger. He's going to be the pitcher. And he's coming in the bottom of the 7. And his first batter will be Brooks Robinson, and we'll color code that right like that. All right, so Wayne Granger takes over for Cincinnati here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 2-1 Baltimore. If you missed it, Bong Powell with the 406-foot line drive home run in the bottom of the 6th inning gave Baltimore their first lead of the game, 2-1. Brooks Robinson versus that's not what I wanted to do at all, not at all. So Brooks Robinson 0 for 2 with 2 ground balls to short against Wayne Granger. Oh wait, we need this thing first. So let's see how Wayne Granger, what kind of day he's going to have. He's going to have 51, just a normal day. Okay, we don't need you. Go away. All right, here we go. Wayne Granger, Brooks Robinson. Bottom of 7, 2-1 Baltimore. Their series is on the line here. That is a 7 against the right-hander. Right-handers don't stand a chance. 2-9 are coming off a Granger's card. Wow. So Wayne Granger, 7. So he's coming off his card 31 against the right-hander. 31. It's going to be a G6. So 3 times up. 3 times a ground ball to short for Brooks Robinson. Davey Johnson. That's an 11. That's coming off of Johnson's card. 65 against the righty, though, is an out. He is an RN. 23 RN is a G4. So ground ball to short. And Andy Echebarren. Andy versus Wayne. That is a double, so we're going to be checking for an error. I've been looking. I can't swear that I didn't miss any, but I have been looking. So 7 against the righties coming off a Granger's card in 11 is a single. And we also check for an error. That went to first base. It was an infield hit, actually. So just roll a 6-sider. The first 6-sider we roll will be determined who has to make the error check. The first 6-sider is a 4, so it went to second base. So we're going to check the second baseman, Tommy Helms. Tommy Helms is an E2. E2 is 11 to 25. So 11 to 25, Tommy Helms picks it up, scoops it, throws it to first, and 42. It's there, but not in time as Andy Echebarren gets himself a infield single. That brings up Kawar with 2 away. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's only down 8-2. So he's got plenty of strength left, but Baltimore's going to do things differently. They are actually going to leave Kawar in there. And the reason I'm doing that is not because I'm favoring one team or the other, anybody out there that's watching and listening or watching later on, is if you actually look at the game that actually took place, 1970 Game 5 versus the Reds and the Orioles, you will notice Cincinnati made a lot of changes. Pinch hitters and, pitchers coming in, a lot of changes. You'll notice Baltimore did not make a single change the whole game. No pinch hitters, no pitchers, no nothing. So I'm going to stick with that format. I like to do my replays based upon how they did it in real life. So in this case, I'm just going to let Kawar come in. If he doesn't get a hit, he's just got 6 more outs to get. That's all he needs to do. Game over. They win, right? That's an 11. That's coming off of Kawar. Kawar with the 16. Oh my gosh, 11, 12, 13. He rolls a 16 and strikes out. He had his day in the sun. Just couldn't get it. I'm actually think I might make strikeouts a different color as well. Let's see. What color should be strikeouts? Gray. That's fine. Gray. Yeah, gray's good. All right, so Kawar is coming back in. to face off. So what do we end up with? 1 hit. So each team with 7 hits now. No runs. And going in the top of the 8th inning, we have the wrong thing there. Oh, yeah. Okay, there we go. So we have Bobby Tolan leading off. So Bobby Tolan versus Mike Quar. Here we go. 6 outs to get here. Quar hit, so they definitely needs. All right, it's an 8. An 8 is outside his range. I know he's a lefty, so 2 to 8 because he's having a good pitching performance. So 28 off of his card, 28 is going to be a strikeout. So because he's having a good day and his stats were changed, that's going to make another strikeout. That brings up Pete Rose. Let's see, 0 for 3 on the day. 1 away in the top of the 8th. That's a 7 versus, he'll be batting right-handed, so, and a 58 is going to be an out. Pete Rose with the out. Against left-handers, he's an RN versus lefties. RN, yes. 41 RN, 41. It's going to be a G5. And that brings up Tony Perez. 2 away here in the 8th inning. Singled last time up. That's a 6. So it's coming off a Quar. 12. That's going to be a single. So Tony Perez keeps things rolling for Cincinnati. And that brings up Johnny Bench. Johnny Bench is 2 for 3 today with 2 singles. That's a 9. So Johnny Bench, 51. 51. Oh my gosh, look at that. Just a strikeout. Johnny Bench. So close. Strikes him out to end the inning. And 2 of the 3 batters, I'm sorry, yeah, 2 of the 4 batters faced struck out. So no hits. I'm sorry, 1 hit, no runs, no errors. Going to the bottom of the 8th inning, we have Mark Bellinger coming back up. And let's see, he's got a relief of 5. He lost 1 because of the single, so he's down to 4. And he loses 1 when he starts the 8th inning, so that's 3. He's got 3 left, so he can stay in there. All right, so Bellinger versus Wayne Granger. That is an 8 and doubles, so we'll be looking for an error possibility here. 8 against the righties coming off of Granger. 33 is going to be a G6. G6 shortstop is Dave Concepcion. He's an error of 2. E2. So 11 to 25 will be an error on Concepcion. To his left, scoops it up out of the dirt. Does it get under his glove or not? 52. No, it does not. It is just a G6 out. Paul Blair, right-hander versus Granger. That's a 10. It's coming off of Blair, but his 84 is an out. He's an RP of, oh my gosh, 71. RP of 71. That's an F7. I think that's literally the first ball we've had into left field the whole game. Let's see if I'm mistaken on this. I think that is the first play in the left field the whole game. I think it is. Two-way here for Frank Robinson, who is a home run shy of the cycle. A double in the sixth, a single in the fourth, and a triple in the first. Can he get that cycle here for Baltimore and give him a one more run cushion? Bottom 8, 2 outs. Here it comes, the windup and the pitch from Granger. That's a 3. So 3 is coming off of Granger's card. 46 against the righty. 46. It's a strikeout. Strike him out. There we go. Another strikeout, and that's going to end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. And that brings up Lee May. Lee May is 1 for 3 with a single. Let's see, let's see who they have on their bench here if they wanted to bring someone in. Although Lee May has quite a range, they're going to leave Lee May in there. He seems to be, yeah, he hit 34 home runs. So, yeah, they're not going to pitch hit for Lee May because one swing of the bat, this game is tied. So, here we go. Top of 9, 3 outs away. Cuar trying to go for the 1-run full game pitching. Here we go. Lee May versus Mike Cuar. Top of 9th. That's a 3, so it's coming off a Cuar, and it's a 72, which is an out. Lee May is an RP against a lefty, so that is simply 84, which is an F8. So Lee May flies, not far enough. That brings up Hal McRae. Home run in the second inning. All Cincinnati has to show for the day so far. So I'm not going to pinch hit for him either. Hal McRae versus Mike Cuar. That is a 6, so it's coming off a Cuar, and a 61 is going to be an out. So Cuar with another out off of Hal McRae. 1 out to get. It's an 83. RP 83. That is an F8 again. F8 down to their last out. Tommy Helms. Only 1 home run in the regular season. Let's see. It looks like they'll be bringing in a pinch hitter. He had no home runs. Okay, well that's not exactly what I thought we'd see. Bernie Carbo. Bernie, what did Bernie do? Oh, Bernie Carbo's coming in. Bernie Carbo's coming in. Insert. There we go. Carbo. He's coming in the 9th inning. Pinch hit. Oops. Alright, and we can take that off. Here we go. Bernie Carbo got a pretty decent card against Mike Cuar. Can Cuar get this whole game? Can he pitch the whole game, giving up just 1 run, and pitch his team into another game in the series here? Let's find out. Bernie Carbo looks at a pitch. Here it comes. It's a 6 against the lefty. So it's coming off a Cuar. It's a 32. 32 is a strikeout. So Bernie Carbo strikes out. And folks, oops, we got us a series now. Just like that. It is now 3-2 as Baltimore's won 2 games in a row. And wins this one at home 2-1. So 3-2 in the series. Cincinnati has the lead. They're up 3-0, but Baltimore's won the last 2 games. Here at home, we now will have game number 6 back in Cincinnati on October 17th. Now, there was not a real game in real life for that day, so I will be making the matchups myself, as this game was the last game of the real 1970 World Series. But, folks, we've got more gameplay for you, as we've got us another game number 6, as Baltimore, the Fighting O's, are fighting strong here at home and come out with a 2-1 victory here on 7 hits. No team with an error today. So Cincinnati 1 run on 8 hits, no errors. Baltimore 2 runs on 7 hits, no errors. The big hits were obviously the home run in the second inning by Hal McRae, and then of course the single by Paul Blair, and then was thrown out by Johnny Bench trying to steal second. Frank Robinson comes in, hits a double, which probably would have scored Paul Blair anyways, and then due up next, Bog Powell, who rips a home run into right center field to give the O's a lead. And that was pretty much all the scoring for today's adventure here at Memorial Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. For the final time today, your final score here, Cincinnati 1, Baltimore 0. We've got another game coming for you, game number 6, as Cincinnati now leads this best of 7 World Series from 1970, 3-2. And if they don't win the next one, they could be the biggest choke job of all time. We shall see. So be sure to watch for the 1970 game number 6 to come soon. I hope everyone has a wonderful evening, and thanks to Beatles Eternally for stopping in and saying hi, giving us some of his wonderful insight as he always does. And now I've got to go try to get my lineups for game number 6. So we'll see you guys either later tonight or tomorrow for game number 6, 1970. Again, signing off here from Memorial Stadium. Your final score, Cincinnati Reds 1, your Baltimore Orioles 2. 3-2 lead for Cincinnati. Take care, everyone. We'll see you for the exciting game number 6.